John, can you just explain what, trading Demaryius, what's the goal here to kind of clear things for the future?
Well, I mean, I think that the goal was that, we were not hell-bent on trading Demaryius. If the value was there, that we felt the value was there. We felt that it could help us that way as far as the draft next year, and that we thought that with the young guys behind him that we could make up for the space that he would leave. And so, we got the value that we thought was fair, and that was the most important thing. So, I think that it's never easy when you trade a guy that's been a household name here for a long time and done a lot of great things, not only on the football field, but also in the community, and, is a good man. So, plus it's a good spot for Demaryius. He's going to a good football team, and that's an independent race where he's going, and so, it'll be good for him too.
How many teams were interested?
We had probably 3 or 4 teams. Yeah.
Was there a pause at, you're playing the Texans this Sunday?
Yeah. I thought about it, yeah. I mean, obviously. But, I think that ultimately we had to look past that and thought that, it wouldn't affect our game and affect the outcome of the game, that we felt that we could make that move and send him to Texas.
At this point, you guys got making moves?
At this point, yeah. But you never know. But at this point in time, we are, yeah.
How much does this deal give Cortland something a chance, and how impressive he's been so far with him?
Yeah, I mean, I think that they've all, Cortland's played very, very well, and Tim Patrick played very well last week, and so, and Emmanuel's obviously playing very well too, and so, we thought that, this would give Cortland a chance to get out there, play more, and become a bigger part of it, because we think he's ready to go, and, he's played well up to this point in time, so hopefully this accelerates his maturity.
You use the line often, win now and win from now on. Is this more about winning from now on rather than?
No, because obviously when you lose a guy like Demaryius, that we're going to lose a little bit, but I think that where we can make it up is with the youth and the young guys and getting them experience, and as this year continues to go. So I didn't think that it eliminated our ability to compete and hopefully get it, have a better second half than we've had, and at the first half, and win some football games. But I didn't think that was going to impede it by making this move, and it also gave us some value that we thought was important.
He's been a big contributor for a long time, well liked in that locker room. How do you think the team will react?
Well, it's you never know. I think that they'll look at the guys behind him, and hopefully the young guys step up, and I think that's what's most important. And personally, I think that the young guys are ready to step up behind him and fill that void. And so with that as well as the value that we got, we just thought that it was important to make the move.
John, when you trade your longest tenured player, does it feel like the end of something or more the beginning of something?
Well, I mean, I think that anytime, like I said, with how Demaryius has carried himself since he's been here, I think it's always, it's an end for him and us. I think, but it's not because I think, as I told him, he'll always be a Bronco, and so it ends his career here, but not his career in the NFL, and know that, look at it as the fact that eventually the Broncos will be reunited with Demaryius.
What was that conversation like that you had with him, letting him know?
I mean, it was hard. I mean, it's always hard, and I think that I told him too. I said, I know it's hard with everything that he was hearing out there, and those type things are obviously very impossible to keep quiet, and unless something comes to fruition, I usually don't ever talk about them, just because the fact is, a lot of times they're just rumors, and so we can't control that. And I told him that we did the best we could to try to take care of him as well as take care of the Broncos, and but he was obviously, I wouldn't say surprised, but I think that anytime you're somewhere, and I can only imagine having never been traded, but I imagine that that there's a lot of unknown out there for him now, going to a new spot, but I'm sure he'll fit right in.
When you look back on his career as a Bronco, what will stand out to you?
I think that he made so many big plays. Obviously, the Pittsburgh one is the biggest one, I think, that stands out that we all remember. But, he was a guy that was very, very productive and consistent for a long, long time and was healthy most of the time, too. And so, a guy that we could rely on.
John, while we got you there, on top of you, the trust and Bill Bolin filing a lawsuit, what did you think of that? Do you have any concerns about the, stability at the top of the franchise?
No, I don't. Like I said, we've talked about this earlier, and you asked me about that. I think that, that'll work its way out. I will say this, that in my opinion, and having worked with Joe, he's been that pillar for us, and so that's still above our level, and we still have to concentrate on doing the best we can as far as trying to get back on track and win some football games, and we look at that as it will handle itself, and but I just know in the long run that eventually, no matter what happens, I think we're still going to be fine. However, whatever way that goes, I think that the franchise is in good shape.
At 3 and 5, John, what signs do you see that this can be turned around?
Well, I mean, because I think there's enough good plays out there. We've played we've been very, very inconsistent, obviously, and I think that that's been the toughest thing. And so I think with the amount of plays that we've made and the good things that we've done, it gives me hope that we can turn this around. We've got to eliminate the mistakes, and we've got to eliminate the penalties, and be a lot more disciplined. And so if we don't do that, it's going to be very tough. But I think we've shown enough will and want to that if we can eliminate beating ourselves, then we can have a chance to get it turned around.
When you say turned around, what do you mean?
Win. Well, we've lost 4 out of the last 5, right? So we've got to start turning that around, and we got to start winning these games. I mean, there's no, and the bottom line is, the games look like they're close, but we got to play better in the middle, and so, we got to start being in games going into the fourth quarter, not playing catch up the whole time, and so we've eliminated. Obviously, we played some good football teams, but we still have to go out and play 60 minutes and play with a lot more consistency.
Were you close to making any other moves ahead of the deadline?
We were talking to some people, but there was never anything really close. So.
Was part of this Sutton and Demaryius kind of close in receiver style, with the big ball, the high point ball, and maybe that's one reason you can afford to make a move like this?
Yeah, I think, and I think with them coming on like they've come on, and Deshaun coming on, and looking when he gets back, that to rely on him, and Tim Patrick's played well. So, we just felt that we'd make that up, we'd make the loss up. It may not be right away, but that eventually the youth will cover that up.
Time for a few more for John.
He's tied for league in interceptions. How surprised are you with some of those plays that he's made, ball security ones?
Well, obviously, and Case would be the first one to tell you that, some of the decisions haven't been really good, but, and he works on that. I know that he's not trying to do it and continuing to work on that and try to prevent the turnovers. And so, I think he did a lot of good things last week. I think he moved around, used his feet a little bit. And we also got to get him in good situations, too, the best situations we can get him in, too. So I think, there's a feel. I think Billy's getting a better feel for what he does best. And so I think we'll continue to work that way and try to keep him out of situations. Obviously, it's that you're going to have those interceptions, but it's not something that you can just put a finger on and say, okay, we're going to put an end to it. So,
did Emmanuel's play this year also help you feel more comfortable with making this move?
Yeah, leave Emmanuel out. He's had a great year, and he's played hard. He competes, and he's tough, and a great competitor. So Emmanuel's what he's done has also made this decision easier.
John, your young receivers all credited Demaryius with really helping him, just the finer points of the game. With him gone, do you think that maybe Emmanuel needs to step up, not just to be a number 1 receiver, but to maybe be a little bit more mentoring?
I think that happens natural. I think Emmanuel's been that way too, and when you have two alpha dogs in one room, it's who's going to take over. And I think when they're not that Emmanuel's the alpha in that room. I'm sure that and he's helped him up to this point too, and it's now just probably more so Emmanuel's room.
Last one.
Brian, you had won on Sunday. Would this deal with Demaryius have gone down?
If we'd have won.
Yeah. Is this still, I mean, either way, would this deal, you think would have happened?
Well, it didn't matter what happened on Sunday. I mean, the bottom line is there was some interest in Demaryius, and we thought that if we got what we wanted and the value was there that we thought was fair, that we could make up for the trade. So that didn't matter what happened on Sunday.
Thank you very much, John.
All right.
Thank you, John.